And I remember Granddad was supposed to read this thing. That because I was on a. My mom was
Yeah, because we thought it was separate ones.
This is the one that you're gonna read. It's the same thing. So you could either read it off of this or off of this. And so if that's easier for you to read, also you can read off of that one. Okay. Thank you.
Are you a grandpa? Hi, I'm Rabbi Mabel. Congratulations. This one is amazing. Where's your dad? Oh, there. John. Over here. Just two things. Okay, I heard.
Yeah.
Is there anybody maybe four?
So it's
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, just we'll double check. Okay. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. We've come together because it's the holiest day of the Jewish year, Shabbat, that happens every week. And, oh yes, and we've come together because Mabel is becoming a Brit Mitzvah, a member, a full adult member of the covenant of the Jewish people. And we are so thrilled to be led by you and taught by you and inspired by you, Mabel. So welcome to all who have come from far and near to be together with Mabel and her family. A couple of words. This is our Siddur, our prayer book. If you didn't happen to get a copy, They're outside that door right there. And Chris and Brienne will help you. Most of the prayers, even if they're in Hebrew, are also transliterated in English letters. So feel free to join in. Also feel free, if we're singing, to say la la la. We have our amazing music director, Will, and the CBH chorus here, who are so talented and so generous with their time to come this morning to help us to celebrate. Just make yourselves comfortable and enjoy. We're going to continue with the words Ma Tovu on page 143. Let me say one other thing, which is just so you know, there are 3 ways out of this room. God forbid we shouldn't need to know, but there's a door back there, there's a door back there, and there's a door that way that leads to the front. So just for safety's sake, everybody should know. Matovu means, how awesome are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And this is one of those dwelling places of the Jewish people in which the sides are open and we welcome everybody. Mabel, please lead us.
Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha, Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha, Yisrael. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha,
Now, I'd like to call up Aunt Joni to present Mabel with their talit, the prayer shawl that represents all of the commandments in the Torah and also represents the divine grace. So Mabel, we can step around and Aunt Joni that way. We're gonna have her facing Mabel. So Mabel can see it's
It is not very much to participate in the service with you and celebrate the journey. It's a long time and it's for a long time too. So wear this with pride, wear this with love, and know that the family loves and cares for you.
blessed. It's the top. We continue with blessings for the morning, being conscious of all of the blessings that are ours as we wake up this morning. And Mabel will lead us. We're going to start on page 153. And for each blessing, Mabel's going to start in Hebrew and then say the English. So we can all join in with the English and we can all say after each one, Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolamim, who removes sleep from my eyes and slumber from my eyelids.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolamim, who gives the burdened on discernment to tell day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolamim, who stretches forth the earth upon the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolamim, who makes the blind to see.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolamim, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who makes the captive free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who raises up the humble.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who makes firm a person's steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who acts for all my needs.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who gives Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who made me in your image.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who made me of the people of Israel.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolamim, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen. We continue giving thanks for the breath and the soul within us, which is pure. Page 165, Elohai Neshama.
Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Tehorani. Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Elohai Neshama Shenatata B'Tehorani. Tehorani.
Page 177, blessed is the one who spoke and the world came into being.
So this is a three-part chant. Please feel free to join in on the part that feels best to you, and I'll give you a hand if you probably first. Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo,
Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo. This part of the service is about all of the blessings of life, and Will has composed a beautiful, beautiful song called Beauty, about all the beauty in the world.
So this is kind of a campfire song. Feel free to join along. Everywhere, everywhere there is beauty, and I see beauty. Everywhere that I go, lift me up from despair. Come and soothe me, reach right through me, hold me harder than I've ever known. Everywhere, everywhere there is beauty, and I see beauty. Everywhere that I go, lift me up from despair. Come and soothe me, reach right through me, hold me harder than I've ever known. Seems like the cost of life is so much higher than what we had saved. A sea of frost and ice is trying to bury us under its wave. Just look around. Why is it that you're so afraid? Everywhere, everywhere there is beauty, and I see beauty. Everywhere that I go, lift me up from despair. Come and soothe me, reach right through me, hold me harder than I've ever known. A few dozen years to hang around and take things past where they were when we came. Some fly away, some run aground, some spin in circles, but if it's all the same, I'd rather walk. Will you help me find flowers on the way? Everywhere, everywhere there is beauty, and I see beauty. Everywhere that I go, lift me up from despair. Come and soothe me, reach right through me, hold me harder than I've ever known. Everywhere there is beauty, and I see beauty. Everywhere that I go, lift me up from despair. Come and soothe me, reach right through me, hold me harder than I've ever known.
We continue with the first words of the Psalm for the Shabbat day, page 209. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. It's good to give thanks to God. Mabel, lead us.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, v'yikra boker chasecha, be'emunatecha b'avero.
235 for the great hallelujah, Psalm 150. 235. No, 231. It's 231. I lied.
Please join with us on this one as well. There's only 5 words and one of them is hallelujah. Kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol hashema te'alelia, 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 kol hashema te'alelia. Kol hashema te'alelia. Hallelujah, 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 Kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia, kol hashema te'alelia.
From these introductory parts of the service in which we've been awakening ourselves to being here, to gratitude. Now we move into the morning service, Shacharit. We transition with the words of Chatzi Kaddish, page 245. And Mabel and I will lead you.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amar divrach yirteh ve'amrit mahuteh.
Uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Padala, padala, uvizman kariv. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'olam yal me'al maya yitbarach.
Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitla'ar v'yitshema v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala shmei l'kudusha b'rechu le'elna min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damira v'yalma v'imeru. Amen.
Please rise as you're able. We continue with Baruch Hu, calling one another to praise God. Baruch Please be seated.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam yoser or uvorei choshech osei shalom uvorei et hakol.
Amen. It's my pleasure now to call upon Frances Libby, Mabel's sister, to read on page 268 below the line. You can come over here, actually. Frances. Don't know what that mic.
Every day, creation is renewed. Wake up and see unfolding. In the spreading light of dawn, the world naught contains, coming into being, new, fresh, filled with divine goodness and love. Every day, creation is renewed. Reflected in the great lights, we see a new day, one precious day, eternity.
Page 273, we give thanks for Ahava Rabbah, great, endless, abounding love. And certainly in this moment surrounding Mabel, there is Ahava Rabbah, great love.
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahavtanu, Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, Ahava Rabbah, Ahavtanu, Ahava Rabbah, Page 277. Mabel will lead us as we affirm the oneness of all. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom levavecha v'shinamta levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bebeitecha u'belechtecha b'derech u'b'shokmecha u'b'chumecha u'shartam le'ot ha'yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha u'ftachtam al mezuzot beitecha we sing Micha Mocha Adonai, who is like you, God. These are the very words that the Jewish people sang when they crossed the Red Sea from the narrow places of constriction and oppression in Egypt to the wide open spaces of freedom. And we sing these words to connect to that experience. Micha Mocha Adonai, We continue now to the Amidah, which is a series of prayers that are sometimes referred to as Hatfilah, the prayer. I invite you to rise as you're able. We're going to sing the first three blessings aloud, and then there's time for silent prayer. You can use the words that are in the prayer book following, or you can just open your heart and share whatever is in your heart silently. Page 295, 294. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Shovim, V'Koneh Ha'Rachum, V'Zomer Ratzei Elohim, V'Yivim Lalim Ne'Lechem, Somek noflim v'rofeh holim, u'matir hasurim, u'mekayem emunato, yishenei afar, michamocha b'gvurot, u'midomela, melech kemi u'mechayem, u'mashiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanata Page 303. Ne'adeh she'tshila ba'olam, Eshem shema tishimoto ishme'nano. Akatu v'yam מתי תמלוך בציון, בקרוב ימינו לנער תשכון, תתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך, לדור ודור לנצח נצחים. בעינינו תראנה, תראנה מלכותך, הדבר האמור בשירי עוזך. ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לא יגאל לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לא יגאל לך. ולנצח נצחים, קדש ממלכתיך, קדש ממלכתיך. ישיב כל עולמנו, ובגדינו לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גם לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גם לך. ולנצח נצחים, קדש ממלכתיך, קדש ממלכתיך. נשיב חכמים, מבגדינו לא ימוש, לעולם ולעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We pray silently. Maybe seated. Let peace come for us and for all the world. Odiavo Shalom.
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Salam Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Shalom.
Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom.
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Shanti Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shanti Shalom.
Shanti aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shanti shalom.
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Shalom.
Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom.
Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu. Odiavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al
We move now toward the center of our service, the reading from the Torah, which is perhaps among all the demanding things that Mabel has mastered. Mabel has learned to, what we say lane, it's a Yiddish word for read, but let me just tell you what's involved here. The Torah is written in Hebrew. That's probably not surprising to you. But it's written in Hebrew, a foreign language to us who were born speaking English, without vowels and without punctuation. Oh yes, and it is sung to a particular melody. So all of that, when Mabel reads from the Torah and makes it look easy, just know that Mabel had to learn all those words and learn the special notes, the Ta'ameh HaMikra, the chanting of the Torah. And that's all that goes into learning this very demanding a beautiful skill, which allows us to be very, very intimate with the Torah that was given to the Jewish people and that is sacred to us. So we make a transition with the Kaddish on page 381. Yitkara vitkara shemera ba Bi'almat ibrachirute bi'amlich malchute b'chayichon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei techol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimeru Yehei shmera ba'mevarach le'olam yomei almaya yitbarach Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei de Kudusha, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Titkabal tzlot hon uvaut hon dechol beit Yisrael, kodem avohon de gishmaya v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shalom raba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru. Amen. Page 383.
אין כמוך אלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל העמים שלך, בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Adonai hos ve'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Avarachamim eitiva mirtzoncha et Zion. Tivnei cholot Yerushalayim. Tivnei cholot Yerushalayim. Ki becha levad batachnu, melech el ram benisa, Adonai. We'll be continuing on page 385, and I'd like to call up Mabel's dad, John, to open the ark. He's right, I forgot to say that. We'll be continuing on page 393.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo. Adonai iti unerame Hashem Adonai ha'ilula ve'hagilura ve'hatiferet ve'hanetzach ve'hahod ki kol hashamayim u'ba'aretz ki kol hashamayim u'ba'aretz Adonai ha'amamah ve'amina Ramenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'nishtachanu, Ve'nishtachanu, Le'adam raglav kadosh. Ramenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Ve'nishtachanu, Ve'nishtachanu, le'har kodshlo, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Please be seated. It's my pleasure to invite to welcome our Gabbai Rishon, the leader of the Torah service, Lauren Rich, our president.
Warren, let's get you over here. Oh, good. Okay. In the program, it says that I am Audrey Galix. I am not. But Audrey was my Gabbai Rishon, and Audrey taught me, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be doing this today. All of our Hebrew school kids are stars to me, and one of the most important things that we do as a synagogue is Lador Vador, is to carry the tradition from generation to generation. And today we have a star of stars in our Hebrew school, and I'm saying that because I know Gila is going to be a little shy to talk about that. So I just want you to know, Mabel, you are one of our stars of stars. Anyway, what's a Gabbai Rishon? A Gabbai Rishon is like a guide. I looked it up last night. What does it really mean? A Gabbai, Gabbai Rishon is the first guide. And my job is really to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing. This is a highly ritualized ceremony, really, for some child becoming a Brit Mitzvah. As Rabbi Dale explained it to you, this is a really big day because a young Jewish person takes on all the rights and privileges and responsibilities of being a Jewish adult. And so it's a very exciting moment in the life of a Jewish person and a Jewish family. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about other people who are here. On my left, far left, is my Torah trope tutor and my dear friend, Elise Cohn. And Mabel has a star-studded casket with Rabbi Dale and Elise Cohn helping her because Elise helped me. What are we doing? We're reading from the Torah, 5 books of Moses. As you may or may not know, some synagogues read the whole Torah in the course of a year. Some other synagogues read the whole Torah over the course of 3 years. We're one of the latter. Why do we read the Torah? We read the Torah so that we might learn something. What can we take from the Torah? And as Rabbi Dale described, Mabel will be using the ancient chant, the ancient trope that's probably been around for thousands of years. And she will be going through this ritual that
other young Jews have gone through for thousands of years. So it's continuation, Lador Vador. Next, who are the people who are going to be coming on the Bima? I'm going to be kind of directing traffic. That's another one of my jobs. Every time a verse is chanted in the Torah, there have to be people who bless the Torah. And after the verse is finished, there is the second part of the blessing. We're going to be chanting 5 verses today from Parshat Naso, the longest Parshat in the Torah. And there are special people in Mabel's life who are chosen by her and by her family to bless the Torah. And when they are called up, I will call them up in a kind of ritual calling up that's been adapted for modern times by their Hebrew names. And if they don't have Hebrew names, by their English names. And even if they do have Hebrew names, I'll tell you what their English names are. So you'll know who you are. Anyway, they will be asked to recite a blessing. There are 2 kinds of blessings. There's actually more lately because Judaism is really evolving like so many other religions, but there are 2 principal ones we use here at Beit HaBarim. One is the traditional one that's used by the Orthodox and conservative movements, and I think many of the synagogues in the Reform movement. It's that talks about Jews as the chosen people, Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim, that God chose us from all the people to bring the Torah to the world. And there is a second version, which is the Reconstructionist version. We are a Reconstructionist synagogue. And we delete the reference to Jews as chosen people, but rather as we've been called, Asher Kirvona La'avodato, to call to bring the Torah, called to God's service. When you come up here, I actually have both. And I think the white one is the traditional one, and the yellow one is the Reconstructionist one. So you tell me whether you want white or yellow.
I think it's the reverse.
It's reversed? Okay, we'll take a look before you come up. And so that's how we're going to proceed. One other thing, 2 other things I want to tell you. Parshat Naso is basically, as the rabbi talked about, it's the longest parsha in the Torah. It starts out and really talks about the Jews trekking through the desert to the land of Israel. It's rules that the Levites, the high priests, have to follow as they're trekking through the desert, and then the gifts that the leaders of the 12 tribes bring. And there are also really some extraordinary discussion about Jewish law. Mabel's passage as a Brit Mitzvah is really traditionally to do several things. 1, to be called up to bless the Torah, as Rabbi Dell said. 2, to chant using the ancient trope from the Torah. 3, to give us a little bit of a devar Torah, or a sermon. What have you learned? What do you take from this? So we'll hear some words, some wisdom from Mabel on that. And then the 4th thing is to do a Tikkun Olam project, which you'll see in the program. Mabel is doing with the Concrete Jungle, a food project, which thrills me because my daughter is in the fair food fight. So that's another special thing today. So last thing is usually during the reading of the Torah, after one of the verses, and we'll do it now after the 3rd chanting of the verse, we do a Misha Beirach prayer. And it's typically, we hope that those who are suffering or need healing or need some sort of divine help today can have it. And typically when the Torah is being read, we say that prayer, and that will come after the 3rd verse. Okay, so we ready to get started? Did I leave anything out? You'll tell me. Got it. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the first aliyah. Na'amod Yehuda ben Ziso b'Jeni la'aliyah harishona. Please rise, Grandpa Ed, for the first aliyah. White. Reconstructions. One.
Have a look closer. Take your time. Amen.
Amen. Breathe, Amen. Livnei Adonai, Ve'asa, V'chateto, Ve'olato, Ve'hawayu, Ve'asa, Zebah, Shlamim, Ladonai, Hamatzot, Ve'asa, and let me hotel, let me scar, Begila, Hanazi, Peta, oh how Moed, and Rosh Yisrael, Belaka, at Se'ar, Rosh Yisrael, Venatan, Ahaesh, Asher Tahat, Sebach
Shani. Amen. On to the second aliyah. Na la mod ben Sion Ruvain ben Yehuda v'Miriam la aliyah hashenit. Please rise, Uncle Ben, for the second aliyah.
Amen. Belaka, Hakohen, Hakohen, Et Hazra, V'Shelah, Min Ha'ayu, V'Chala, Matzah, Achat, Min Hasal, or Kik, Matzah, Echad, Benatan, Okaveh, Anazim, Achar, Hik, Galcho, Et Nizro, Beheni, Otam, Hakohen, Snufa, Lifnei, Adonai, Kodesh, Hu, Lakohen, Chazeh, Hatnufa, Baal, Shal, Ha'uma, Ba'achar, Yishtet, Hanazir, Yain, Zo, Torah, Hanazir, Asher, Idor, Korbanah, Ladonai, on Israel milvad asher tasik yado kefi midbar asher yidor ken ya'aseh HaTorah
Yisrael. Amen. On to number 3. Na lamod yedebat Rachel v'Moshe le'aliyah hashishit. Please rise, Auntie Jill Rothstein, family friend for the 3rd aliyah.
Moshe Lemon Taber Elaharon Ba'obanav Lemon Kom Tebachu Epene Israel Amon Lahen Yevarech Adonai
Yishmarecha. Amen. Ordinarily, we would stop here for the Mishaberach, but Auntie Jill has had a momentous Jewish moment in her life right at this very moment. This is a very important thing. It's the first time Auntie Jill has been called up to bless the Torah. I remember when it was the first time I was called up to bless the Torah, and we usually say a blessing, a Shechianu blessing. So those of you who know Shechianu, let's go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Okay, now we're going to move on. As I told you, like in the middle of the prayer service, we ask for healing or divine aid to people who need it. And this is the Misha Berach moment. And do we have a list of names? We'll just go hold in our hearts anyone. And if you would like to say a name now before we say the blessing, I want to do Misha Berach for Audrey Galex, who has COVID. That's why I'm standing in for her, and her son has COVID, David Schechter, and also Scott Gerber and Nancy Gerber, who just got some health issues. And if anyone wishes to say a name, anyone else? Please, even under your lips. Okay.
This is call and response. Mishebera Avotenu I'm sorry. Yeah, one more time. Mishebera Avotenu החיים לאמותינו יברך וירפא את החולים את החולים
On to number 4. And this is a big one. This is Mama. Na la'amod Gila Michaela Bat Yehudu Miriam Lialiyaha Rivbi. Please rise, proud Mama Gila Herman, mother of Mabel, for the 4th Aliyah. Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher tzivanu la'avodato v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notei haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yinecha. Nisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. V'samu et shemi al bnei Yisrael bani
Avraham.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notei haTorah.
Amen. Okay, and now this is the moment when Mabel becomes a Brit Mitzvah. I just want you to know that this is a very long series of verses, and many kids in our Hebrew school do a couple of verses, and Mabel has been doing the whole thing, so it's been wonderful. And so now I'm calling you up for your Brit Mitzvah. Na lamod Brit Mitzvah Natana Eliana Mizera Gila Bejan the Aliyah HaChamishit. Please rise, Mabel Libby, daughter of Gila and John, as a Brit Mitzvah for the first time for the 5th Aliyah. Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher tzivanu la'avodato v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notei haTorah.
Amen. Ifnei Hamishkan. Amen. This is really not the hardest part. The hardest part now is everyone is going to say all these really spectacular things about you and then you have to listen to it all. It's all true. I get to skip those stuff. Okay, and Audrey would have said, "What a Sheffield moment that it really is. You just read so beautifully, and the Star of Stars among our kids here at Beit Haverim, and hearing you, and I can't wait to hear your words of Torah. I really have faith in what's going to happen in the future. We have a tough world, right? And you guys can't push it right for us. So let me share with you a blessing that I know Audrey would have read. And it's one I love too. And then you'll hear everybody else. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May you be our link to the future and to future worlds. May your hope encompass all the generations yet to be. May your heart conceive with understanding. May your mouth speak wisdom. May your tongue be stirred with sounds of joy and love. May your gaze be firm and sure. May your eyes be lit with Torah's light. May your face be aglow with heaven's radiance, your lips saying words of knowledge, your inner self alive with righteousness. May you always rush in eagerness to hear the words of one more ancient bell. So Mazel Tov, welcome to our congregation as an adult. Now you're going to hear from everyone else.
I would like to call up the people who have raised this beautiful human being to this point, John and Gila. Stand right here. No, we're not talking, I'm blessed. Yes, this is receiving. You have put out and put out and put out as parents do for their child. Now it's my pleasure to offer you a blessing for this occasion. Mishabeirach, Avotinu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov, Bimotenu Sarif Kalach. May the one who blessed our ancestors, the ones who came before us, who raised us, who passed wisdom down to us, bless John and Gila, the parents of Mabel, the Brit Mitzvah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yivarchem b'chol ma'aseh yedehem. May you be blessed in all of the endeavors of your hands and hearts, just as you have had the privilege of raising this beautiful human being to this moment. So may you be blessed to see them grow and flourish and become all that they will become.
May you be kept from all trouble and sickness and sorrow and protected and allowed to have many, many more moments of celebration with your dear ones. And we say V'nomar Amen. Mazel tov. Now we have an opportunity to share in several prayers for peace, which we truly, truly need. Beginning, I believe, on page 422 with Linda. Oh, sorry, page 775, we're starting. Thank you. Linda, it's Rian? Right there.
When the blessing of shalom is lacking, however much we have of other blessings, wealth or power, fame or family, even health, these all appear as nothing. But when shalom is present, however little else we have somehow seems sufficient.
Not that of a ceasefire, let alone the vision of the wolf and the lamb, but rather, as in the heart after a surge of emotion, to speak only about a great weariness. I know that I know now how to kill. That's why I'm an adult. And my son plays with a toy gun that knows how to open and close its eyes and say, Mama.
The peace without the big noise of beating swords into plowshares, without words, without the heavy thud of a rubber stamp. I want it gentle over us, like lazy white foam. A little rest for the wounds who speaks of healing. And the orphan's outcry is passed from one generation to the next, as in a relay race. That baton never falls. I want it to come like wildflowers, suddenly, because the field needs it. Wild peace.
Thank you, yes. And now we continue on page 778, Linda.
We mothers, we gather seeds of desire from oceanic night. We are gatherers of scattered goods. We mothers, pacing dreamily with our constellations, the floods of past and future. Leave us alone with our birth like an island. We mothers who say to death, blossom in our blood. We who impel sand to love and bring a myriad world with stars. We mothers who rock the cradles, the shadowing memories of creation's day. The to and fro of each breath is the melody of our love song. We mothers rock into the heart of the world, the melody of peace.
We say Yasher Koach, may you go from strength to strength. To Linda and Wes, grandparents, and Chris and Brianne, aunt and uncle of the Mitzvah.
We're now at the point where I told you this is highly ritualized, so the Torah has lifted and addressed before we're ready to close out the Torah source, but we're not doing it yet. So this is my exit, but before I exit, I'd like to say something as President Richard, and maybe we need to know this is a special day for you too. Rabbi Dale is leaving us. This is her last brief mitzvah. And Rabbi Dale has been a giant in our congregation this year, helping us getting through a tough transition. And I don't know, is this a Shehachianu? I think it should be, so I would like to do another one, okay, for everybody who would like to join. Wishing Rabbi Dale wonderful times ahead, and thank you for everything you've done for us, and Mabel, you're the last in her class, and that's a big deal. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'hikyanu, la'atzman
Hashem. Amen. Back to the Torah service. Now we're calling up the Torah lifter, Uncle Steve Howard, and the Torah dresser, and Joni Howard. Na lamod ha'hava, please rise. The Torah lifter, Uncle Steve. Na lamod ha'glila, please rise. The Torah dresser and Joni Howard.
Please rise. You may be seated. Before I say anything, we've come to a really important moment in the service. I need Lilia and Hudson to come forward and pass out candy, which we're going to need after we hear from Mabel. So there are baskets under the front seats. Lilia, will you grab yours? Your mom can help you if you need help. And I'm gonna pass it out. Everybody can take a piece of candy. And I want to tell you a couple things about this candy. The first thing is, Hudson, you can start passing out. The first thing you should know is that it's gonna be thrown at Mabel. Now that might seem like a really hostile thing to do after this person has exerted themselves and studied and learned and demonstrated such competency. Why would we throw something at them? But candy is sweet. And the Torah is sweet, and we wish you a life of sweetness in Torah by throwing this candy. Also, second thing you need to know about this candy, it is soft. So no injuries will be sustained in the process of this candy being thrown. And the third thing you need to know is, now that you have it, make a lot of noise with it. And you see how we wouldn't want to be hearing that during Mabel's talk. So please put it under your chair. I'll tell you when it's okay to pick it back up. Did everybody get some? Yeah. Okay, we gotta make sure everybody gets some. You're doing a great job, Lilia. People in the back didn't get it. That's a deer left and left and not. So that's it.
Just saying. Okay, so you have just read from the Torah portion called Naso, which means lift up. And the Torah portion has some challenging bits in it. Lauren told you about some of the easier to understand parts of it, but Mabel did not choose to teach us about the offerings of the priest or the instructions of the priest or the beautiful priestly blessing that you'll hear more about later. No, Mabel chose to engage with a very challenging and troubling instruction in the text. And I think you're going to find that Mabel has succeeded in wrestling with the text, which is a very Jewish way of responding to the text, asking questions and learning lessons that are really important for our world. So Mabel is so important to Torah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Today's Torah portion, Parashat Naso, describes the process of taking the census, women's punishment for suspected infidelity, the status of people who take special vows to become Nazarites, and priestly status in the priestly blessing. The Parashat outlines the process of what to do when a woman is suspected of infidelity by her husband, the soda ritual. A woman faces grave consequences if her husband even suspects she is cheating. The man brings an offering to the priest, and then the priest takes water from the words of the Torah parchment and dirt from the tabernacle floor for the woman to drink. She is made to drink these bitter waters. If the woman gets sick from the water, she still becomes infertile, but if she doesn't, she's still fertile. If she becomes sick, she is considered to have cheated. One summary of this part of the portion reads, if a man's wife goes astray sexually with another man other than her husband without being forced, then the husband shall bring his wife to the priest and make a meal offering of jealousy and a meal offering of remembrance that recalls the wrongdoing. When the woman acknowledges her sin, she shall be made to drink bitter waters that shall make her belly swell and her thighs sag, and she shall become a curse word among her people. One of the things that stood out to me about the soda ritual was that if a man suspects a woman of cheating with another man, only the woman gets punished, not the men. A woman who is suspected of being guilty by her husband has to drink filthy and unhealthy water that the priest will give her. She is punished because of her husband's suspicions, and she could die or get really sick. One commentary by ultra-Orthodox Rabbi Avi Shafran suggested that this ritual might reduce tension between a couple, regardless of whether or not there was infidelity or guilt, because if the woman is financed advised, then the husband would let go of his jealousy and believe that everything was fine. Rabbi Shafran continues, the ritual is not intended to punish the woman if she is guilty. It is to absolve her if she is innocent and preserve love and trust in her marriage. According to Rabbi Shafran, it's meant to just heal the marriage because even if the concoction is not tasty, it is not something that will likely kill her and ultimately may help this husband in his jealousy and suspicion. I do not agree with this interpretation as it still reflects the inherent sexism in this ritual. The Women's Torah commentary I read says, on the surface, it would seem there are some basic assumptions that underlie this ritual. Women are required to remain faithful to their husbands, whereas no such restrictions are placed upon men. Women are responsible for men's feelings of jealousy, and most importantly, a man's jealousy may work itself out on a woman's body. This ritual on the woman's body is really about the husband's jealousy and not about what his wife has done or not. This passage makes me angry because it shows how women were unjustly punished and considered to be responsible for men's feelings. I have some additional thoughts about this. I believe that the priest should not have participated in this ritual because the woman could die. It's unhealthy and unhealthy. This kind of ritual should not happen because it's unfair. It's solely focused on the woman. The laws are favoring men because adulterous men won't get punished. If they were to be punished, it would say it in the Torah, but it is not. I think about how this ritual might affect a family.
This might cause the woman to not want to talk to her spouse ever again because she feels it is unfair. I also think something is missing from the beginning. The husband and wife should have talked about what was bothering them first, and there's no mention of this in the Torah portion. For example, if the husband shared how he was feeling about the relationship, then she could respond. And then he could ask her how she feels about the relationship. If he was feeling jealous, how can you feel trust? And if he was jealous, maybe it's an indication that something is going wrong in the relationship, and it would be a good opportunity for them to figure out what they both need or want. It might not have nothing to do with his wife and more to do with him. What the couple really needs is a marriage counselor, which might not have existed then, but it exists now. One important value that comes out of looking at this part of the Torah portion is trust. If you do not trust the other person in a relationship, you might do crazy things like get extremely jealous, and in biblical time, humiliate your wife by taking her through this process with the priest. In today's times, you might stalk them, slash their tires, or do something violent if it isn't checked. Trust can be built through asking one another and listening to each other about your relationship. This is even more relevant today when we talk about women and women's bodies. If a woman says she wants an abortion, you should trust that she is making the right decision for herself and for her family. Many Republican legislators and other anti-choice advocates all over the country are trying to cancel out Roe versus Wade, and the recently leaked Supreme Court opinion would completely overturn Roe. A lot of the same people are mad because they don't want to wear a mask in public, which is a very easy thing to do. They want freedom to do what they want, but they don't want women to be able to do what they want with their bodies or let women make decisions that are important for their health. Having a child is a big life change. It's risky to a woman's health, and it's forever. It's also really expensive to have and take care of a child. Too many people care so much about their freedom from a little thing like a life-saving mask without any concern about how it affects other people, but then have no respect for a woman's right to choose whether or not to help a child. If a woman was raped and then is not allowed to have an abortion afterward, that is not fair. Getting pregnant was not a choice and completely unpreventable, and they would have to go through additional pain and risk to have a baby that they don't want, and the baby might even have a bad life if the mother's not prepared. I understand the soda ritual as punishing a woman when a man didn't trust her and accused her of adultery. Legislators and Supreme Court justices and those who are advocating to get rid of Roe versus Wade don't trust that women can make decisions about their bodies. Isn't it time to trust women? An important lesson I learned from this Torah portion is that sexism is wrong, even when it is reflected in laws of the Torah. Thankfully, there is no evidence that this ritual was ever actually performed. We learn from this that Judaism evolves and changes over time. We do not accept that we are bound by a custom that we find unjust and cruel simply because the Torah gives an account of it. CBH has taught me not to blindly follow, but to always work towards social justice and equality for everyone. This is extremely important, especially now. Through this process, I have learned about what it means to be Jewish. I feel like I have matured and taken advantage of this opportunity. The preparation of the Brit Mitzvah was a great way to start volunteering. For my Tikkun Olam project, I volunteered at Concrete Jungle. Concrete Jungle grows healthy food for food insecure people in Georgia. Their mission is to transform overlooked and underutilized fruit trees and land into a healthy food source for communities in need. Through this experience, I have gained more awareness of how big of a problem food insecurity is. 1 in 7 children in Georgia face food insecurity. Moreover, the quality of food available to those living in poverty is often poor, and food deserts are very present in these communities. Working with Concrete Jungle has helped me gain awareness of this problem, as well as contribute, even if in a small way, to tackling this issue. In short, sexism is wrong, and we must always fight for justice. Whether based on gender, race, sexuality, economic status, or anything else, we all deserve equal opportunities. I have spent the past few years at CBH learning and working towards this goal. I wouldn't be here today without the support of those who have helped me. I would like to thank Rabbi Dale for teaching me prayers and helping me write this Devar. Thank you to Elise Cohen for spending so many hours tirelessly reviewing my Torah portion, teaching me prayers, and helping me write the Devar. Thank you to my mom for always supporting me through this process, volunteering with me, and helping me write this Devar. Thank you to Will and the chorus for the beautiful music. Thank you to all my friends and family, especially those who have traveled far away to be here with me today.
Okay, candy out. Ready? Okay, we have a bunch of candy here that's gonna get in our way. If there are any younger people who want to collect some for your own enjoyment, please come. It's just dragging you. Good job, Lillian. Thank you so much. I have one bit of the candy. Okay. I'm thrilled to call upon Michelle Walsh, who is an active parent in our community school, who's going to present a gift to you from our congregation.
I got you.
I wanted to say on behalf of the CBH Community School and all of the parents, Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov on reaching this day. My daughter just had her bat mitzvah last year, so I know this is a lot of hard work for the parents and the child and the whole community and family. So congratulations again on reaching this milestone in your life. This is a present from the community school, which is a Kiddush cup. And we hope that this Kiddush cup will be used by you in your future on Shabbat and holidays, and that you'll always think of CBH and all the time you spend here and your journey to get you here today.
Can put that down. And now I'm going to invite you to come over here. Your parents have a few things to say to you. So who's going first? Gila and then John. Yes, you can both come up. I get to stand right next to you. Yeah, John, you can stand on the other side of me.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wanted to thank everyone for being here today. It's so wonderful seeing everybody's face out here. And Elise are you just smiling or I thought you were telling me to do something. Sorry, Elise has been telling me what to do for like the last 9 months. So I'm just used to like, what is it now? So anyway, it's great to see everybody here. Thank you so much to Elise. Oh no, I'm not saying thank yous because I let Mabel do that. Trying to learn to let Mabel be an adult. So that was Mabel's job to thank everyone, but I don't want to say quick thank yous to everyone. And, let you know a little bit about how we sort of came to be here. I was
as a younger adult, not totally sure that I was going to raise my kid in a Jewish faith community. My mother, Marion, Mabel's grandmother, was very involved in her synagogue, kind of insisted on a naming ceremony when Mabel was a infant. So kind of started that way. And then after my mom passed away, I thought, well, we should check something out. So we started coming here occasionally when Mabel was very little to the Tat Shabbat services. And Mabel just really loved it right away. They've always been a little bit of a shy kid, but at those services, they, raise their hand, jump up, grab the scarf, sing along. So really all this has been kind of propelled by Mabel. As they got older, we had looked into a secular Hebrew school as well, but Mabel wanted to try a school here and just found more meaning there, was really seeking all of the wealth of tradition that CBH had to offer. So really Mabel has chosen to continue on this path the whole time. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like every Sunday morning they jumped out of bed dying to go to Hebrew school, but we definitely continued. Every year was, you sure you want to keep doing this? And Mabel always said yes, and was always interested in learning more. So the last year particularly has been a ton of hard work, and I'm so proud of all of the work that you've done. Oh, I already had, thank you, Lisa. I'm saying thank you, Lisa, again. Mabel's just been really diligent. I know Lisa, I'm allowed to brag, I'm told. So Lisa said, wanted to use Mabel as the model, as one of her role model students, has been really working hard, practicing diligently. Okay, I'm gonna brag again. Working hard is not a new thing for Mabel. I also just thought I'd mention that Mabel got the maximum number of awards possible. Oh, I'm sorry, except for most improved, because and their principal even joked, Mabel, you should just keep a chair up on the stage here at the 7th grade awards ceremony. And I mean, you've really gone above and beyond with everything. I know at the rehearsal, Rabbi Dale said how also Rabbi Dale could kick her feet up and let you run the service. So it's been so impressive. And it's just been such a pleasure watching this. It has been a pleasure watching you grow up and become the adult that you are today. You have become my Hebrew tutor because I certainly don't know nearly as many of the prayers as you do. Thank you for diligently helping me learn the Reconstructionist version of the Aliyah. So Mabel is also a pretty tough tutor, by the way, if anybody needs one. Sometimes I look at the little baby pictures and I miss that little kid that you once were. But mostly it's just been such a pleasure watching you grow up and change sort of from my little kid to my buddy, my partner in crime. And you are becoming more and more of a model to me, not just in Hebrew, but in everything, and learning from you. Thank you for getting me out to Concrete Jungle. Embarrassingly enough, our neighbors that we've known for many, many years, and I never volunteered, and I needed a little extra push of the Tikkun Olam project. But thank you for teaching me how to be a better person. It has been a pleasure watching you go through this whole experience, working on the Devar. You were one of the few kids that we kept trying to help, and you kept being like, no, I'm going to do this. Wait, that's not what I said. This is what I said. So it was wonderful hearing all of your own voice and your words and your thoughts come out in that process. And I can't wait to see you continue to grow and learn and teach me and teach others and see the grown-up that you are becoming.
Yes, you will. Okay, why don't you switch places with John? Gila, just stay up there.
Oh, right, okay.
All right, so I found out this morning that I was going to speak, so I don't have anything concise and thought through. But I do want to say that I'm completely proud of you, and that you did all the praises that you've gotten. It doesn't surprise me in the least. I knew that you would succeed to continue to do well.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Now I get to say something. So you know how sometimes people have a name, like it would be like Mabel, such and such, Libby. So I think yours could be Mabel above and beyond. Because truly, you have just taken hold of everything that was asked of you and gone above and beyond in this process of becoming a responsible, engaged adult member of this community. So first thing I want to say to you is you're a really good Torah reader, you're a really good service leader, so just keep in the back of your mind. My daughter supported herself through college being a mitzvah tutor.
Yeah.
It's really good. Just saying. Secondly, what I want to say is that it thrills me to hear that you have been an engaged person at CBH since taught Shabbat, and you have continually chosen to be part of this community, to stay in the process of learning. And what I hope for you, Mabel, is that Judaism and the Jewish people will continue to be a source of inspiration and nurture and support through your whole life. Wherever it is you go, please know that there's a Jewish community that is waiting for you to be an active member and waiting for you to be a person who is connected and supported. Whatever happens in your life, please know that your tradition is there to offer you solace and to help you grow. And wherever you go, please know that CBH will always be your home community and you always have a place here. And I hope that between now and when you go off into the world to go to college, that you'll continue to be involved in our teen program and other learning opportunities and praying opportunities and tikkun olam opportunities that emerge, because you will be a blessing to this community. Now I would like to bless you with the words of the priestly blessing, which you read so beautifully from the Torah. Yivarech Adonai Yishmerecha. May God bless you. May He bless you. Ya'er Adonai Anav Elai B'yad Yichunecha. May God's light shine upon you, gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elayich vayasem lecha shalom. May the divine presence ever be with you and bless you with peace. V'nomar, and we say, Amen. So it's time now to return the Torah to the Ark as we draw our service toward a close. And I'm really happy to invite Francis and Wyatt, Mabel's sister and sister's beloved, to come forward. I would invite everybody to stand. And we'll open the Ark, the right one first. Hallelujah, Adonai, ki nizkar shemo levado, hodo al eretz Yisrael, vayarem be'ermiyav, v'zarov, asirat, v'bnei Yisrael ha'gedol. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Eitz Chaim Ni L'Maravim V'Tov Lecha
Ashirenu Adonai Elecha v'nashua Chadek Please be seated. Oh my gosh, that was cruel. Now that I said please be seated, would you mind rising again? Listen, we need a little exercise. It's been a long service. Page 445, Aleinu. Please be seated. We take time now to remember those who have passed away recently or at this time in years past. Is there anyone who is currently saying Kaddish, remembering someone who died? Michelle, would you say who you're saying Kaddish for? Anyone else?
June Howard.
So those who are saying Kaddish, please rise. We're on page 451. The custom in this congregation is that the mourners say the first paragraph and then the rest of us stand in solidarity with them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Yalma divrah yutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei tachor beit Yisrael, ba'adamah v'zman karib yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'yorach v'yolam omein omein. Yisbarach yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitoram v'yitnaseh. Yidadar v'yidadeh v'yitabal shmei kudusha v'richu. V'heva mikol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata v'nigran v'yamah v'yimru amen. Yehei shalom Rabbah v'yishamaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom v'yomah, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, v'yakol yoshvei Tevel, v'yibru. Amen. We pray that the one who brings peace on high will bring peace to the hearts of all who mourn, and we say the Namar. Amen. Please be seated. It's my pleasure now to call upon Auntie Jill to lead us in the prayer for the hand of writing.
If you guys want to follow along, I do this on the inside of the color. As LGBTQGs, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced into a dishonest presentation of ourselves to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something they are not. The Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community within a larger acceptance. All are victims of theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual, gender religious joy. Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves, and that our fullest creative expression is Jews and as lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us. Amen.
So we're almost at the end of our service. I want to note that we wouldn't be able to be here together were it not for Javi Garcia, a staff member who has been running around here because they are coordinating everything, and Henry Lewis, who has made it possible for people who are not in this place physically, who haven't traveled from as far away as Finland or Connecticut to be part of the service. Henry's managing the Zoom. And I especially want to express admiration, awe, and gratitude to Will Robertson and the CBH chorus. All of these people were here last night singing their hearts out of Shaw, and they came back today to make this gorgeous service. So we're going to conclude the service with the traditional hymn, Adon Olam, page 459. And I just want to let you know that when we get toward the end of Adon Olam, Mabel and their parents are going to quickly skedaddle out to the patio because afterwards we're all going to join them and Mabel will make a blessing over wine and bread, and then there's a lovely reception. So, shall we do it? Yes, you may return your books to the clerk out in the foyer. That would be very, very helpful.
Okay.